Skip Bayless. Oh, poor Skip Bayless. My God, this is the epitome of all things stupid. Skip Bayless felt guilty. Oh, yeah. Let me ask you, why are all you white people trying so damn hard to be something you're not? I mean, I get it. George Floyd happened. You had to put the black circle on there. Hell, I did it. And you had to shut up on air for a few days, and you still got to tippy-toe around. And when you go to an HR meeting, they tell you, at least they did for Radio 1 or Urban Radio, whatever the hell company I worked for 10 minutes, don't say the word guys in an email. Say folks. Don't tell a woman she has nice shoes. Don't ask somebody where they're from. These are all actually real things that we were told not to do at Urban 1 or Radio 1 or whatever the hell one it was. Oh, man. Can't even ask somebody where you're from. And then, in the middle of this meeting, as I walk to the bathroom, a black guy walks up. Yo, you that white boy that's causing all that trouble in this town? And I looked and I started laughing. He goes, what are you laughing about? I go, I'm just in a meeting where you can't even tell people, hey, how are you? Where are you from? And you're calling me white boy. He goes, that's all, you know that. I know, but I just think it's funny. Yeah, I'm the guy causing all the trouble in here and got all the writers mad. That's me. And then we just laughed and had a pee. Yeah. So we know this is all crap. Everybody knows this is all crap. Who doesn't know this is all crap? But Skip Bayless says, I felt guilty about, praising Caitlin Clark. What? I felt guilty. Man, dudes are unbelievable. What if I were a woman? I swear to God, I would go into the mountains or into the hollers or wherever of like Montana to find a man. You can't find men anymore with the great American penis. Skip Bayless, I felt guilty. Listen to Skippy. Didn't want to look like this red state white guy. Well, that's what you are. What are you going to do? You're going to go Jimmy Kimmel and wear, blackface? So you think you're going to look like a red state white guy by rooting for a little girl basketball player in a league that people are just starting to notice. The world is weird. White dudes, get your heads out of your asses. I mean, damn. The brothers are just laughing at you. I got a lot of African-American friends, and they're just laughing at white guys. He goes, man, y'all try so hard. I go, isn't it cute? They go, no, it's really pathetic. I go, I know. But that's what we try so hard. And good for Skip Bayless, he's trying so hard. He didn't want to look like a white guy because Caitlin Clark started to feel like some sort of new right-wing symbol before going on to say black men and women obviously have been routinely and consistently better at basketball. Now, when I was coming up in Gary, Indiana, the brothers used to get bitch slapped by me, whether it was Gary Roosevelt, whether it was Gary Westside, Emerson, you name it. Not when this white boy was coming up. I mean, maybe when Skip Bayless was averaging half a point in high school. But me and my guys, we used to travel around black and white and play basketball. I've never bought into that whole black-white thing. Now, the numbers say it, of course. And the racism from African Americans is astounding in basketball, astounding how it's let go. But as a white dude that was subjected to it, you just laugh about it and you move it along. You keep it moving. Here's what the great Skip Bayless had to say about, I was born a poor black child. Here he is.
So here came this white girl from Iowa. And I started watching the WNBA much more closely than I ever had. And I started to think, deep down in my psyche, wait a second, she's really good. But I'll be the first to admit, I felt guilty saying so on TV or on social media. I did not want to look like this red state white guy cheering for this red state white girl. Our country feels split enough racially already. I didn't want to pour gasoline on that fire. Maybe I was wrong about this, but Caitlin Clark started to feel like, to me, some sort of new right-wing symbol. White woman dominating the game, dominated by black men and women for years and years. I could almost hear some people thinking, white power, baby. And please, I'm not saying Caitlin Clark is far right in her politics or beliefs. I have no idea what her politics or religion are. because she has carefully and I say smartly avoided taking any rookie year stands because she's already such a lightning rod. But obviously, I know what a powerful point of pride basketball has been to the black community in this country. Black men and women obviously have been routinely and consistently better at basketball than white players, white people. I told myself it's not racist for me to like Caitlin Clark's game and to say so publicly. And I have no doubt some of the early resentment among black stars in the WNBA was caused from them reading their social media mentions, their comments, and deciding that Caitlin Clark had become the darling of the far right.
I have no doubt that he's an idiot. I have no doubt that the women of the WNBA read their comments, their social media in reaction to what they did. I mean, it's just so funny to me. God, I weep for women. I weep for children in this country. He's so earnest. Oh, he's so earnest. And then later, I think he speaks about being raised by a single black woman. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You know, the way that Caitlin Clark became polarizing was because of the way the WNBA players acted like such jackasses. Angel Reese celebrating, Kennedy Carter, whatever the hell her name is, knocking her on the ground. The coach, Cheryl Reeves, being dumb enough to put up, it's not about one woman. That is divisive, that is hateful, and people reacted to it. It wasn't about whether a white girl came in and dominated a black sport. Hell, there is no sport. The WNBA is no sport until this year with Caitlin Clark. It's just a collection of people playing basketball, which I guess is a sport, but it's no league, I guess. So just stop with all that. She didn't become a function of any side. People reacted to the stupidity, the jealousy of the players, whether it was Charles Barkley or Joey Bag of Donuts on the street or Susie Rottencrotch hanging out watching at home. We reacted to the stupidity, the pettiness, the jealousy. My wife called it before anybody. She said, this is simple, very simple. The WNBA women, and this is before the season, can't stand other women being successful. So they will be jackasses. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. You know, Becky Hammon and the world's most immature, most valuable player, Asia Wilson. Well, nobody dislikes her, and then Asia Wilson going off on an idiotic rant because I think Asia Wilson's really dumb. I do. And if that makes me a bad person, I can only react to what she's shown. I'm sure she's a lovely lady, a terrific basketball player, but when I see her talk about Caitlin Clark, I think she's really dumb. I think they've all been really dumb. I think Kennedy Carter, really dumb. Charles Barkley said it the other day. You could not have effed this up more. And that's what people react to. Nobody gives a damn about Caitlin Clark's politics except for maybe some little girl in Iowa wearing a 22 shirt. If you're an adult male with a penis or you're a woman that has a brain, who gives a damn about what some 22-year-old likes on Twitter, X, whatever the hell it's called. But this has all been started, and now the women of the WNBA want the big bad commissioner. They want the big bad commissioner to solve the problem. Caitlin Clark, she doesn't take the bait of anybody. She's smarter than everybody. She liked a Taylor Swift post, all right, endorsing Kamala Harris. Good for her. Patrick Mahomes says, hey, look, I don't believe in endorsing political candidates. He gets along with everybody, regardless. Here's Caitlin Clark talking about it.
I'm sorry. Caitlin, you liked an Instagram post last night from Taylor Swift that got a lot of attention. And I'm just curious if you could tell us what that post meant to you, and if you are, in fact, potentially going to endorse Kamala Harris. Thank you.
I think for myself is, I have this amazing platform, so I think the biggest thing would be just to encourage people to register to vote. I think for myself, this is the second time I can vote in an election. At age 22, I could vote when I was 18, so I think do that. That's the biggest thing I can do with the platform that I have, and that's the same thing Taylor did. And I think continue to educate yourself with the candidates that we have, the policies that they're supporting. I think that's the biggest thing you can do, and that's what I would recommend to every single person that has that opportunity in our country.
No, Scott.
There you go. There you go. I mean, Christine Brennan bragged about being the one, I think it was hers, bragged about asking Caitlin Clark about liking a tweet. Like, I got to tell you, I like Caitlin Clark as a player, but what she just said right there, I cannot listen to. Now, I'm sorry to all you 20-year-olds. I can't listen to the stupidity. She's never made a payroll. She's never hired. She's never been married. She's never had any of these things. She's a little girl playing basketball against a bunch of crazy-ass OG people. That's it. I mean, once she starts talking about, well, I'm not listening to any of it. None. Zero. Zip. And look, I'm a 62-year-old man. Why would I? Seriously, why would I? Why would I listen? I get a kick out of it. Patrick Mahomes, you start talking about voting, I don't care. I had a chance to play golf against Michael Jordan. He's a Welch. And most say he's a cheat. So why would I listen to him endorse any candidate? I mean, come on. I mean, what are you doing? What are you talking about? What's on your mind? Are you insane? Caitlin Clark? I don't care who she endorses. She could endorse Trump, and I'd be like, I don't want to hear it. I've been voting since I was 18, and I think that it's wonderful that people should. Oh, shut up. But no, it was really a smart answer. Oh, shut up. I can't. Now, again, that's me. You can. Maybe you can. I can't listen to Caitlin Clark talk about anything other than basketball. You know, when I was single, a bunch of women would come around. I got divorced, and, one was about 25 and hot as hell, so I met her at a place called the District Tap. And about 3 minutes in, I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. Honest to God, the level of stupid, shallow, insane. And I listened to Caitlin Clark talk about voting, and with all due respect to Caitlin Clark's ability to pass the ball behind her back or shoot a deep three, I ain't listening to shit she has to say about anything other than the postgame. And it's fascinating to me that we are such a great society. I mean, think about how great our society, other societies are dealing with wars and famine and whether or not terrorism is going to strike at any moment. You know what we worry about? Does some little girl basketball player like a tweet from some little girl pop star, and why? That's what we worry about. What a great country. Those of you that say our country sucks, well, you're right in certain ways, but not when you see this. Think about it. Little 21-year-old or whatever the hell she is, 22 girl, puts, boom, like on a tweet. The world explodes. That tells you how great a country we have. When that's what we got to worry about. You know, whether you like sending money to Ukraine, I personally don't. They're kind of sort of involved in a war. So's Russia. Think about what's happening in the Middle East. We've got all kind of stuff happening in Paris, in London. But in the United States, we're worried about some little girl that shoots a basketball from 26 feet's political opinion. And it's a big story. The world is nuts, man. World is nuts. The women of the WNBA and their fans just need to shut the hell up. Let me stay with this for a second. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. These women caused every problem that they perceive to have. They have. They have caused every single problem. These players have been pains in the ass. These players have been oft-times violent. We've seen Caitlin Clark shoved from behind, knocked from the side, hit in the head. These players have been racist to the point where the word white bitch was said more to Caitlin Clark than hey Caitlin. To the point where Indiana Fever general manager Lynn Dunn had to address this with video and audio and get it to the league office to get it to stop because these players were such jealous, petty dumbasses. And now we saw Angel Reese, who has made herself into whatever the hell she thinks she is, celebrate when the little white girl got knocked on her ass by some girl acting like a dude, Kennedy Carter. We've seen Angel Reese and her team lie about being accosted by the media on their way off the bus into a hotel when it was one guy asking one question about one incident. We've seen the dumbest of the dumb here in the WNBA in terms of athletes. We've seen women that are absolutely not ready to jump onto the national stage. But is it their fault? Oh, hell no. It's never their fault. You know whose fault it is now? The commissioner. The commissioner of the league is at fault because the commissioner of the league didn't, quote, protect the players when asked about the comments online, sexist, racist, whatever. She talked about rivalries and the growth of the league. What she should have said is our players have been dumbasses. Our players started this type hate. Our players were jealous, petty. Our coach, Cheryl Reeves, was envious and defensive to the point where she actually put out in her tweets, not about only one woman or something like that. That's divisive. That's what these dumbasses are doing. And in true Sarah Spain and other dipshit women journalist fashion, it can't be the women's fault. Oh, hell no. How could it be the women's fault? Because they're perpetual victims. Isn't that what we do? Isn't that how we try to portray this? It isn't the women's fault. Certainly can't be Angel Reese's fault that she acted like a complete dumbass in celebrating Caitlin Clark getting knocked on her ass. Can't be that fault. Can't be the Olympic coach's fault for sitting there like an OG glob of shit and talking about how Caitlin Clark didn't deserve to be on the Olympic team and putting out a hashtag saying not about one woman. Now it's the commissioner's fault. Oh, and Sarah Spain, who is becoming dumber and more desperate by the day, well, of course she's going to jump in. But nobody has the stones. Not one of these people has the stones to blame it where it is. On the women of the WNBA, the jealous, petty women. Now, I understand this can be turned on me. And people say, well, then you're condoning the racism, the sex. No, I'm not. I didn't condone it when the women did it. And I don't condone it when people do it online. But I'm also going to tell you this. I get it every day. Every day. I get something about my set. I get threats. I mean, part of life. Look, ladies of the WNBA, it isn't up to the commissioner to tell your dumbasses get off social media if you don't like what you see. It isn't up to the commissioner to clean up your messes. You made the mess. You were jackasses. Now clean up your own mess. But that's not the way it works in this world because the women, journalists, and players are perpetual victims. They want all the glory. What do these clowns call it? The flowers. They want their flowers, but they don't want consequences for actions. Their actions were abominable to Caitlin Clark. Awful. Every single person, black, white, that had a brain, male, Charles Barkley, Shaq, others, said, what are you idiots doing? Why are you being, in Barkley's world, so petty? But of course, oh man, the little journalist girls like Sarah Spain and others, oh man now, hang on, caller. It ain't her fault. The answer was a fail, talking about the commissioner of the WNBA. It was incomplete. Oh, okay. So was Sarah Spain selling her tits on the internet to go to the Super Bowl. Just saying. The simplistic idea of denouncing racism, homophobia, sexist, yeah, absolutely. Start with that. But ultimately, the question here for Kathy and the larger question for the league is, what do you plan to do about it? What do you want them to do about it? I'll tell you what you do about it. Tell your players not to be homophobic, racist, and sexist. That's what you do about it. Tell your players stop being homophobic because you gay gals who've ran the league with an iron fist and the league has gone nowhere couldn't stand that a straight girl was getting this publicity. That's same with the homophobic. Now, you couldn't stand, you African-American girls, that a white girl was kicking your ass. Oh, it made you crazy. There's your racism. Sexism, same thing, ladies. It made you nuts that a straight white girl was kicking your ass. That's where this came. It isn't up to the commissioner to wipe your ass, clean up your mess. I mean, that's what everybody wants. But women like Sarah Spain are never going to understand that. There's always got to be a victim. There always has to be somebody out there that caused this, because it sure as hell can't be us. And I got to tell you, there's a girl named Annie Constabillo. Rivalry is one thing. Racism, bigotry, misogynist, and hate speech are others. Monday, Commissioner had the opportunity to take a stance against the vile, racist, homophobic attacks players are experiencing. She did not. Well, every day the player had an opportunity to take a stand. So you guys act like idiots, and a lady, whoever this woman is, I guess she writes for the Sun-Times in Chicago, wants to pin it on someone else. Boy, is that typical liberal? Boy, is that typical woman athlete? My wife will tell you, I don't make this stuff up. I don't get these opinions on my own. I asked my wife, who's been in women's sports forever. She knew this was coming. And when I showed her this, she's like, yeah, it's typical. These women acted like dumbasses. People reacted. And now it's up to somebody else, and it's someone else's fault. Sarah Spain has fooled you, idiots. Not me. Now, just how you respond to it. But how are you preventative, and how are you in collective with your efforts to make sure it doesn't get fostered by anyone in the media? Oh, shut up. How about your players act like people, not like children? Perhaps Kathy Engelbert, as a leader, I mean, this woman has led nothing, but she knows how to be a leader. If this is the way she views this problem, it's part of the issue. Everybody's got an issue, right? We all need change. You're part of the problem. Well, the problem with the WNBA is this. The issue with the WNBA is this, Sarah Spain. It's never been more popular. That's it. And with popularity, it isn't all, oh my gosh, you guys are so fun, you guys are so cute, I love what you wear. No. It could have been, but you acted like such dumbasses, such vile human beings, so divisive, Cheryl Reeve, that we can't help you. I'm not condoning anything, and I understand how people twist things. I do. I'm not condoning anything. I'm not condoning idiots on social media. I catch it every day. But it's what happens in this world. You want to play with the big boys? Give them something to give that is good. Instead of Kennedy Carter with a shot, Angel Reese with a celebration, some idiot the other day coming out of nowhere and blindsiding her, talking shit about her all the time, to the point where everybody in the media understands, except for women, of course, who've got to find a victim, and that victim now is the commissioner. I'm not even reading any of this crap. I am not reading any of it, because she's full of shit. She doesn't know. She's posturing. She's for sale. And it's just stupid. Clean up your own mess, WNBA players. Act like human beings, not jealous little pains in the ass. And then your commissioner won't have to wipe your ass and clean up your mess. You can do it yourself. I'm not reading Sarah Spain. She's an idiot. Tyreek Hill told reporters that representatives from the officer, this interesting story, who stopped him outside Hard Rock Stadium Sunday, have reached out to offer an apology. But when OutKick reached out to the legal team of Officer Torres about the apology, they came back, responded they never reached out to Tyreek Hill. So who's lying? Who's lying? Tyreek Hill, look, anytime you punch a woman, a pregnant woman, in the stomach and choke her, I don't care if you're in college, I don't care if you're an adult, I don't care who you are, I ain't listening to you. I ain't listening to you. I'll watch you. Go get a touchdown. Yay, Rod, go fight, win. But Tyreek Hill has shown himself already to be a liar. I didn't do nothing wrong, man. My mama didn't raise me right. Yeah. Your mama raised you to punch women in the stomach. Your mama raised you to grab your fiance by the neck. So shut up with your mama. Don't insult her like that. Just don't. All right? Don't do it. Like, we know you're a thug. We know you're a clown. We know you're an idiot. And we know you're a liar. And if you don't like the word thug, stop right here. Ryan Clark said it was okay on ESPN that we can use the word thug. No. Nope. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Tyreek Hill says he declined. Tyreek Hill was contacted by the legal team, according to Tyreek Hill, representing Officer Danny Torres earlier this week in an effort to apologize. The request was denied, according to Marcel Louis Jacques. Yeah, okay. Alvarez did offer one comment. I can say that neither Alvarez is the attorney for the Officer Torres, I can say neither Officer Torres, his legal representatives, attorney, or anyone speaking on his behalf has had any communications whatsoever with Mr. Hill, his counsel, or his reps, Alvarez wrote. Now that we seem to have Hill declining an apology from the officer who didn't offer an apology, there's no question Hill's lying here. Like, I don't give a damn what names you call me. I judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And Hill's character is garbage. Run with a football, yay rah, impregnate 10 different kids, 5 different women, choking your fiance, punching her in the... Just shut up. You're lucky you're not in jail. If you were Dan Dakich, you'd have had a gun to your head 3 times when you disobeyed the cops. Not walked into a stadium, got a big check for the game, scored a touchdown, had everybody cheering. So just shut up with all the stupid. Thank God for me. Because I'm listening to all these white dudes who are pandering like hell and all these black dudes who want to be the next social media cap. They see that cap money. But the truth of the matter is, I guarantee you, at no time. I mean, I got a family full of lawyers and prosecutors, and there is not a lawyer on the face of this earth that would ask in this situation the cop to reach out with an apology. Are you insane? Hill's lying again. That's what Hill does. Well, no, he also punches fiancés. Jesus. Jonathan Isaac, who famously stood while the other sheep kneel, responded to the Hill situation, saying, all love to Hill. Yeah, okay. Thank God the situation ended peacefully, but this should be shown to every black boy and white boy on how not to act when being pulled over. Respectfully, it's immature as black men to put our lives in the hands of officers in this way, especially when you're of his caliber. Neither side, I don't care about your caliber. Hey, man, I wasn't of Hill's caliber when they put a gun to my head for being a jackass. I would say every white guy and every black guy don't disobey the police. I'm living proof. Neither side has an obligation to be nice. 9.99 times out of 100, you're going to get what you give with IE. I don't know what that means. LE, I don't know what that means. Especially when you're being pulled over for a valid reason. That's fair. There are just unjust expectations, escalations, of course. This wasn't anyone's best moment on both sides. A nothing burger, in my opinion. Well, I'm with you. I mean, all you got to do is roll down. Don't bang on my window. Oh, okay. Why not? Why? Because you run a football? I mean, okay, don't bang on my window. Everybody else in America rolls down the window, hands it. But, let's all give Tyreek special treatment because Tyreek runs with a football. And he got off beating up his pregnant girlfriend. I mean, let's all give him, what are we doing? I'm getting a little tired. Getting a little tired of it. I am. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, roll down your damn window, give the cop, talk to the cop, take your ticket, move it along, get your attorney, get the ticket fixed. That's the Dakich way. My attorney just happened to be my Uncle Roy, who was the judge that handled tickets in Gary, Indiana. That was the Dakich way. Period. Period. Oh, ILE, law enforcement. Thank you. Sometimes I cannot read, right? Sometimes, the woman who leveled the latest accusation against and is now suing Deshaun Watson will be meeting with the NFL while her lawyer is teasing the release of a video that implicates the Browns' $230 million quarterback. Uh-oh! Is Deshaun playing with banishment from the league? No. Look, African-American quarterback ain't getting banished from no league. African-American guy on ESPN ain't getting banished for having sex on Instagram Live. I'm shocked that Paul Pierce didn't get a raise when he had hookers and blow and everything else. Come on. Banishment from the league? No, but I will tell you this. Don't think for 1 second that Tony Busby, the attorney for all these women, hasn't tried or isn't currently making a deal with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, look, Watson played like dry ass the other day, and all of a sudden this comes out. Massive contract. Browns know it's a failure, want to get out from under it. Deal made with Busby. Here we go. So maybe he will get banished. We will be scheduling a meeting with the NFL and hope that can be accomplished in the next 2 weeks. We have a video, 2 additional witnesses for the NFL to speak with. I personally never had confidence in the NFL's disciplinary process, but my client has chosen to engage it. There you go. Women suing Deshaun Watson to meet with NFL. Lawyer teases video. Watson, if you remember, served an 11-game suspension in 2022 after more than 24 women. It's just so funny. He got 11 games. Man, I said I wasn't going in the pool at ESPN, and I had Stephanie Drewley, one of the head knucklehead women, calling me, oh, my God, it's horrible. I said I wouldn't go in the pool. I'm protecting my marriage. No, that's not how. Whatever. 11-game suspension after more than 24 women accused him of sexual assault and inappropriate conduct during massage sessions. A pair of Texas grand juries declined to pursue criminal charges against Watson, but he served this suspension after the NFL and NFLPA reached a settlement. All right. Good for him.